Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Sunless Skies, or you can see I've made it back to New Winchester here. We're about to make the move over to the Blue Kingdom Transit Relay. I have reinstalled our Mechanical Turk. I have filled him with starshine, some might say an entire hogshead worth. And if you don't think that that's an impressive feat, well, just imagine trying to, you know what? No, never mind where I was going with that. And hey, look at that, it's Mr. Menagerie. This is what he was talking about when he said the dome of glass in the garden. So, I guess at this point he has completed his journey. We have chased him all the way around the thing. So maybe now we could get his seal? Alright, for real guy. Time to cough it up. A hiss, a heavy jab in your ribs. Put it away, we will not look. Mr. Menagerie emphatically conveys the extent of its displeasure. Mr. Menagerie's last stall... Okay, he's permanently at New Winchester now. But he will not look. He's just not interested in giving us the seal ever. Maybe we just can't get his. Alright, let's hear his story. Mr. Menagerie stares around him at the smog and industry of New Winchester, the teeming throngs that crowd the station. For a moment, it seems subdued, awestruck perhaps. Then it shakes its shoulders and adjusts its cape. We left the kingdom of ways and measures behind. We sought something new, but became lost in the sunless sky. Then you arrived with your delicious novelties, your items ripe for collection. Mr. Menagerie gestures to its few remaining cages. We have given away everything we gathered then, but we'll stay here a while yet. We have new appetites to satisfy. That's ominous. Well, I hope the people of New Winchester are going to be okay. I guess we're just never actually going to be able to do this. Mr. Menagerie misled us. Alright, I mean, it's not a major concern. Okay, let's go. I think we're ready to go. We certainly have enough fuel and supplies to make it to the 10 feet from here to the relay. Somebody pointed out in the comments of the last episode that it doesn't even seem like there are revenue men at the Blue Kingdom Relay, and I think they might be right, but I also figured, since we're just going through the relay and then immediately to a place that has a bank on the other side, it doesn't hurt us to install the Mechanical Turk and smuggle the stuff across, and then just refit at Sky Barnet. It's easy enough. But I think this is the last of our other business before we actually go back and start focusing on our ambition again. I still expect that we have already been betrayed by the Unseen Queen, and that the magnitude of her betrayal will become clear presently. Really just any moment now. But she clearly still needs us for something. Oh, well, I mean, we know what she still needs us for. She still needs us to find the words, her father's last words. Because she can't do it herself, she's a painting. Really, when you think about it, for a portrait, she's done remarkably well for herself in terms of, like, getting her goals accomplished. Most portraits never get anything accomplished and just sit around. No contribution at all. Okay, first class to the Blue Kingdom. Boy, oh boy, do we have some otherworldly artifacts we can afford to spend. Yep, okay, they don't even check going into the Blue Kingdom. Well, good enough for me. So we need to go to the Forge. And we need to go to Death's Door. I don't remember... What status are we? We're yoked right now. So if we head up to Death's Door, if we head up to Death's Door from the Forge, we are going to have to fight that red Logos. It shouldn't be a problem. We are at full health, and there's no reason, really, that you have to get hit at all while fighting a Logos. Their weapons are not super dangerous. Don't you attack me, Spearfur. You have other things to do. Okay, good. He remembered. You know, he's left the kettle on, and probably there's like some souls that could be gathered over in that direction. I don't have any souls. Nobody in my crew has a soul. I wouldn't allow it. You see some of the things we've done up here in the sky, you would understand. It is obvious that we do not have souls. Okay, we do not need to take on crew. We don't really need to do anything here except get our old assaying glass out of the bank and refit our ship a little bit. Okay, and then I guess we may as well pick up some of the supplies that we have banked here, because there's very little reason not to. Yeah, we don't really have anything to do here. Let's buy some fuel as well. I may as well. Okay. Oh, and I should probably put the Mechanical Turk back in the bank. No reason to have that in the hold, taking up space. And what do we have in the bazaar here? Literature for Death's Door. Your establishment connections have recommended you for an opportunity. The request is written in brusque capitals. Literature required to remedy unacceptable spiritual situation. The requester needs 7 boxes of Ministry-approved literature to be delivered to them at Death's Door. Death's Door is north from the transit relay. Well, we are headed in that direction. 7 boxes is annoying. And then 5 selections of Immaculate Souls for the White Well. We do not intend to go to the White Well. But I'll take this. 7 boxes of literature? Okay. We can certainly do this. So what are we putting back? Is it just 4 crates of supplies? Probably not. It's probably like partially supplies and partially fuel. I'm doing this in the wrong way, sorry. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go. Do we have to bring a bribe to access the forge? I don't remember. I think we still have the favor of the lamentation. So maybe we'll be fine. Plus, she'll be overjoyed. I've spent so much time since we last saw each other interacting with scribe spinsters. I'm not even going to stop and talk to the dead, because they're just going to want me to eat the petrichor, and I have no interest in doing so. We actually are at full hull. I don't know, man. It feels like I'm forgetting something. If it seems like I'm just checking the same stuff over and over again, it's because I have that terrible feeling that there's something I've forgotten. I can't think of what it would be. But I'm sure we're going to get to Death's Door all the way across the area, and then I'm going to remember. Alright, I'm very curious what is going to happen with the Clerk of Sevens. Like, I know we've been working on the Clayman plotline forever, and it is nice that we're going to be able to make another bit of forward progress on that. But I'm way more curious about this Clerk of Sevens stuff, because I feel like we don't know anything about her. If she wasn't bound to this duty, exactly what would she do? Also, I have no idea how she's going to get out of it, but I suspect we're never really going to understand. She's going to take our sigils and just, like, go off somewhere, and then be free, or maybe not. Maybe burst into flames. It does seem to happen an awful lot when you try to negotiate contracts in this place. The Rat Brigade chitter excitedly. Did they make more rats here? That's adorable every single time. You know what rats love more than anything? Well, food. Food is what they love more than anything. But what they love more than anything that isn't food is community. Also survival. Survival's up there. It's definitely, the top 3 are definitely food, community, and survival. Alright, we are of course permitted into the Lyceum. Let us visit the clerk. She's busy. We'll let ourselves in. Here's what you asked for. The sigils are prone to combustion. It would be far safer were they away from your engine. The train is already driven primarily by explosions. We don't need to add any more to the mix. The clerk is silent for a long moment after you hand her the sigils. Then, thank you, sincerely. I wasn't certain you or anyone could do it. She hauls several heavy clay tablets from beneath her desk and begins carving correspondence sigils into them with a knife. As she works, she gives you a partial explanation. The set of tablets bear the terms of her service. Each sigil you brought her has its place, expanding the scope of a phrase here or introducing contradictions there. This will grant me a period of freedom. If I return occasionally, the king might not even notice I'm gone. It'll only last for a time, but she grins fiercely. I intend to make the most of it. Yes, you mortals with your limited time, go and make the most of it. Okay, well, where does she intend to go? I've been stuck at the Forge of Souls for years. The High Wilderness will have changed since I last went exploring. Londoners never could let things lie. She smiles. I have a standing invitation to Langley Hall. I'll look for familiar faces there. Okay, I'm curious where that plot goes. Hopefully that will remain done between our characters. There are a lot of things that reset that you would not expect to reset, like the progress of the circus, for instance. Alright, back to the Forge. Enter the Forge with the Lamentations' permission. Oh, we actually don't even have to go into the Forge proper, that's right. Once again, the heat that engulfs you as you open the filigreed door makes your skin prickle and breath catch. You are back in the tiny, immaculate chamber. Smoke billows from the furnace set into one wall. At the center of the chamber is a stone plinth bearing your unfinished companion. Truly disgusting to look upon. Alright. Our companion's poetry shall move and inspire. This is something Sister Patel never quite got good at. One of the things that she still really admires about the Archivist, even after their little falling out. The spirit places a funnel to your companion's slack mouth, gesturing that you should pour the starshine into it. As the iridescent liquid fills the companion's skin, the body starts to take shape. Its feet inflate first, its toes swelling into shape one by one. The thighs and chest bulge, the light from the starshine gleaming through where the skin is stretched thinnest. Eventually, the body is full, and the spirit removes the funnel. They ladle the last of the starshine into the mouth until the liquid is a shimmering pool, quivering between the companion's open lips. Your companion has no eyes. Acquire a cask of Navartine gemstones or a sack of verdant seeds to rectify the situation. That is extremely doable. In fact, they sell gemstones here? Apparently we're going to have to do a little bit more fetching. We'll be back. Don't let anybody take this. They do. They totally sell gemstones here. I will just purchase one of these, and then back to the Forge with us. I do wish we could do that without leaving the Forge. There's a lot of clicking through menus here that could be avoided. I guess, hold on. I didn't really read the options here. Sparkling Navartine gemstones will make your companion entrancing, or verdant seeds will render the companion unnerving, especially when they start to germinate. Now, I think we would go this way. Not just because it's very convenient. You push the gemstones into the eye sockets. I had this done once. It totally sucks. My apologies. The starshine has become gelatinous, so the stones quiver on the surface, rather than sinking to the back of the head. The spirit takes a tiny needle and runs gold thread through the loose skin around the gemstones before pulling it tight, anchoring them beneath sphincters of puckered skin. Your companion will be unable to close its eyes, but the spirit seems unconcerned. Okay, he's complete. Really, that's it? We shouldn't, like, eyelids or... No? Alright, you know. You're the professional. The spirit caresses your companion's face, quivering with emotion. Milky tears spill over their cheeks and run into the companion's mouth. The companion's leathery lips twitch, and they turn their head to you, ignoring the spirit. Stiffly at first, but with gradually more fluid movements, they sit upright upon the plinth, then step down onto the floor of the chamber. I look forward to working for you, they say in a monotone voice. I think, yeah, ignoring the spirit just seems like being a dick for no reason. Let us thank the spirit for their help. It would not do to offend one capable of creating life. I don't know that that's necessarily a rule that you should extend to its natural conclusion, but I think we should at least befriend this one. It is not clear whether the spirit understands your sentiments, because they turn their back before you have finished talking, to pull a lever next to the furnace. There is a distant clanking of machinery, and an acrid smell fills the air. The spirit peers through the furnace grate. After a few moments, they open it to reveal a steaming bundle, which they remove from the flames with a metal shovel and deposit on the plinth. The spirit peels open the bundle, revealing it to be another empty skin. They lower their head to it and take a long sniff. Okay, I'll leave you here with that. I don't need to see what comes next. Bring your forged companion aboard. They shall be an asset to your locomotive. You begin to lead your poetic forged companion toward the port, but it holds up its softly glowing hand. Please do not trouble yourself, it says in a toneless voice. I will locate your locomotive and install myself aboard. They fix you with unblinking eyes. I am glad to take my first steps through a place where life is made. Such inspirational surroundings will enrich my work. You have every reason to be optimistic about the Forged Companion's tenure. Do I? Alright, I'll just trust you on that. Okay, so. Next order of business. Bring a testament of salt, which we totally have, to the sun's daughter at death's door. Alright, so the path is long and can be a little dangerous. In particular, we have to be wary of Eaters of the Dead. And then, right about here, there's a red Logos that we are going to have to fight. Provided we have not taken a bunch of damage already on the way up there, should be easy enough. Too lazy to turn. Just trying to sideways thrust myself under the bridge. Something almost got angry at us. Ah, crap. Okay, you know what? Our terror's in an okay place. If I see the aggro symbol appear again, I'm just going to shut the light off real fast. So we just basically have to head... Okay, we have to loop around this little area here. A vast and dormant machine, once part of something far greater. I don't really care about this. There's no reason for us to open that. It might spawn a Spearfer who I just extremely don't want to deal with. Horrors patrol heaven seeking stray souls. I bet that means there's an Eater of the Dead nearby. Am I going the right way? Yes, I'm going approximately the right way. Oops, turned off the cruise control. That's a problem. Well, that's good. Just ram yourself into the wall. Oh, wow, a couple of them. Well, maybe we can... No, turn off the light, turn off the light. Nope, they're still both mad at me. Yeah, I'm just going to try to bail here. I think probably they'll keep each other busy. We're going to go around the far side of this thing. Oh, no, we're not. It presses all the way up against the wall. That sucks. I was going to scoot around it and use it as cover. Alright, just continue to be interested in each other instead of me. Try to use this thing as cover as best I can. And there's the angry Logos. Okay, the good news is it intercepted that attack, and it actually is way more interested in fighting everybody else. Cool, we're just gonna run. If we have to fight it on the way back, then we will. Yeah, we are absolutely just ignoring everything and running straight for the station. Oh, you know what? I did not even check out what it would take to keep pursuing the bleak industrialist's lost love. Maybe that's the thing that I was thinking that I had forgotten. The thing that I somehow remembered that I had forgotten without remembering anything about what it was. Well, unfortunately, she is just going to have to stay lost for the moment, then. We are very busy. Okay. Oh, no, wait. This isn't even the right station. We want the other station, don't we? The other station is where the daughter is. Well, I can hear that extremely loud burning noise. Seems like we might have gotten off kind of easy on that, and then we can just take the other path around past the White Well. So I suppose we could have taken that prospect from the White Well after all. Oh, I needed to turn in the ministry literature over at that other dock, though. Oh well, whatever. Let's grab ourselves a port report, and then seek an audience with the Sun's daughter. The Arbiter of Fates has not tired of you yet. Oh, good. A meeting can be arranged, but first a more durable shape. Yeah, I remember. Oh, right. We don't have our litigator anymore. Shoot. Okay. Hold on. I might have to go somewhere and... Okay, hold on. That would really suck if I had to fly all the way back. I forgot that we didn't have to pay the gemstones the first time because we had a litigator. Well, let's go over to the dock over here. Maybe they'll be selling gemstones here, and if not, then I'll do the run back and then run over to here with the gemstones off camera, so you guys don't have to sit through it. I should have just grabbed all my gemstones out of the bank. Like, I know that they love gemstones here. Alright, fingers crossed, everybody. Yeah, they don't. Shoot. Alright, well, we can bring them all these. Oh, nice. Your client is a new sequence preacher, fresh from London and simmering with zeal. He is attempting to convert the dead before they pass through death's door, and means to hand out the pamphlets you delivered to those that look like they might waver. This is not the light that was promised, she bellows in a hesitant spirit, before reassuring you that her superiors will hear of your assistance. That's a pretty good reward. I was really hoping that the bargain might be gems. Okay, well, that's annoying. I'll go get some gems, and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm ready for my procedure, and I brought my own gemstones this time. This is the episode of jamming shiny gems into people's eye sockets. Hopefully that's not freaking anybody else out. It is bothering me, if I'm being honest. Okay, we have a form resilient to resplendence. I mean, you remember how this all went. We've lost a moment of inspiration. Well, at least we have a couple left. So... yeah, here we are again before the Sun's daughter. I have a request to make. Only the Sun's daughter has the authority to interfere with the Amaranthine Edict, which forbids the usage of the Forge of Souls for bringing forth new creations. You speak your request in a slim flicker of light like a candle flame. It wavers as though blown by a great wind, but you hold firm. The light grows brighter and warmer. Your entreaty becomes insistent. The Sun's daughter listens in silent contemplation. When she finishes, your flame grows to a sudden roaring incandescence, and then, just as suddenly, dies. She conveys that the edict is inviolable. However, she implies, obliquely, that something composed of old parts would not be in violation of the edict. Consult the spirits of the forge. The minister in white was cherished once. You will require her skill. Okay. So we can... standard bureaucracy type stuff. You can't break the rules, but you can absolutely break the spirit of the rules while just barely adhering to their letter. That's totally fine. Well, let's request a testament to the feather while we're here. May as well, right? We have plenty of stories to tell. And then I think we can just, well, you know what? Let's also plead for an indulgence. There's no reason not to. Hey, what a surprise. We failed. Okay, now let's detach ourselves from this radiance, reclaim our body, gain some more terror, because you know you can never have enough terror, and then get the hell out of here and hopefully never have to speak directly with the Sun's daughter ever again, because every time it's both terrifying and incredibly painful. Okay, hold on. We should probably go down to the Horologian. I could use the terror reduction. And the trip back was pretty uneventful. The Eaters of the Dead were gone. The Spearfurs were far enough away that I was able to turn off my light and avoid them. And the Logos was stuck behind that crypt The one that was, like, pressed up against the wall that we couldn't go around. He seems to be trapped back there, and I'm expecting he'll still be there when we fly back. Alright, well, let's approach Horologion here. And observe the antedeceased. I am not permitted to participate in this particular feast, but we can sit here and watch and get a vision of the heavens from it, at least. Okay. Let's get the hell out of here. I was kind of hoping that a new feast might provide us with some terror reduction, but we got some just from being nearby. It will have to do. 30, unfortunately, is high enough that we could start to see some ill effect. It is possible that we're still going to run into those Spearfurs. I did see both of the Spearfur engines still alive, but they were at the edge of the screen, and I was able to avoid their rage by just turning off the light. One of them has managed to get himself trapped with the Logos over here, and the other one is currently indisposed, so we're just gonna keep rolling. We have been very lucky today out here in the Blue Kingdom. Things have not always gone this smoothly for us. You know what, let's go ahead and veer off a little bit and grab whatever that is. That is something that glisters. I'm sure it's just going to be luggage. It seems like there's always loose luggage in this part of the sky for some reason. Like, the implication is that a lot of trains get here and then fail here in a fairly dramatic way. But my question would be, how are they all getting here in the first place? Oh good, I replaced the 2 hull that I lost by accidentally slamming myself into the wall while attempting to escape Spearfur fire. Something tells me that that 2 hull is not going to be meaningful. But I guess if something truly terrible happens and we end up at 1 health, I am willing to be proven wrong. So this Clayman plot is one of the things that we've been working on for the longest time. We got the princess pretty early. Actually, we got the unrepentant devil really, really early. I suppose probably his plot is the one that took the longest in the overall. But this is definitely close. And we're probably never going to see anything this long again. I think we've completed all the really tough stuff. Okay, an irregularity in the galley. The table is neatly laid, but the plates are glued in place and the cutlery is nailed down. Wow, that must have been a lot of work. The culprit is quickly discovered when she tries to nail the chief engineer's hat to the chief engineer's head. Everything has its place, she explains when she's dragged before you. Okay, listen, you just do whatever you gotta do to calm down all that crazy in your brain. Okay, we're so close to the end of this journey. Let's not be pounding nails through each other's heads now. And after this, I think our business in the Blue Kingdom might be concluded. Like, for this character, completely concluded. We've seen enough terrible things here that I don't know that I ever want to come back. I'm mostly just thinking about the spider stuff. Good, I undid the 2 hull that we gained. Ugh. Okay, into the forge. We are able still to enter the forge proper thanks to our the Lamentation's favor. We also have that testament to the feather. Oh, but we don't have to enter the forge proper to do this, at least. The sun's daughter suggested they could create a new creature from old pieces. The spirits gather in the greatest and most central chambers of the forge to hear of your audience with the sun's daughter. The white minister, with her wings of canvas and white sapphires, is at the heart of the throng. As you finish, there is a susurrus among the gathered host. Excitement? Anticipation? Fear? At last, the white minister steps forward in her robe of starlight on snow. It can be done, she tells you. The clay conductor grinds his teeth. Finally. Okay, so what exactly is needed? What's the plan here? The white minister tells you that despite what most anatomists believe, the essential building blocks of a person are a body, a heart, a thought, And a voice. Yeah, we've been having some problems with that last part. The last of those is most important for this task, and so will be dealt with at the very end. She has a list of requirements for the rest, which she presents to you. The clay conductor grinds his teeth in frustration, but nods his head. Seems like he does that whenever he's happy or angry. We will gather these immediately. He pauses and turns to you. At the captain's convenience, of course. Well, it turns out we totally have all of those things. Provide a body. The White Minister has very specific requirements. Unfortunately, they do not naturally exist, but we have some clay to work with, so to speak. The White Minister bends low, sheathing the silver blades in her forearms. She takes the condemned experiment from you. It rests in her arms like a child in a cradle. She promises she will give it a purpose it was denied. The conductor nods in satisfaction. One step closer. Soon the air will resound with our voices. Very soon, I think. A singer without inspiration might become competent, but never exceptional. The White Minister requires a thought to fill the companion with fire. The White Minister leads you into one of the slimmest of the towers, and bids you sit over a small furnace for 3 days and 3 nights. The air is soon damp with steam and sweat, which the White Minister gathers in a small iron pot. At last, you are free to go. The clay conductor hurries to examine you, and is not satisfied until he is certain you have not been diminished. How is this? I guess there is that old saying that inspiration, or that creation is, 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration? Maybe that's what's being alluded to here? I do not have a caged catch on me, but we can certainly go and get one. Hold on, we absolutely for certain have some in the bank, so let's just go and solve that problem. And then she's going to want something for the voice, and if we had a solution for the voice, we could have solved this problem already. I could have just done the singing. Well, let's bring back the caged catch. Hopefully she has an idea. It seems like she might. It seems our business might not conclude quite as easily as I was hoping here. I'm really hoping that they're not going to ask us to get something that can, only be gotten from Pan. I'd really love to conclude this without having to traverse the entirety of the known universe. We're already doing enough sort of aimless flying back and forth here. It is a little bit of a shame the way things work. I wonder if they could make it so your bank is available in all of the major settlements of the Blue Kingdom, or something like that. In the early game, when you're asked for a caged catch or a moment of inspiration or something like that, the part of that that's a challenge is actually finding it. But at this point, they gotta know you already have the thing you need. And I don't know that it's a particularly interesting challenge to simply be asked to go get it. I don't know, it's not a major inconvenience. It's certainly not anywhere near the most flying that I have had to do for an objective. But it is sort of just it's an expenditure of time without any interesting challenge or anything to go along with it. By the time you're in the Blue Kingdom, you definitely have a whole lot of, at least you have had a whole lot of caged catches, and you certainly know where to get more if you're out. I don't know. I don't really have a solid complaint here. Pretty much I'm just whining. Okay, so we could probably take the fuel and some of the supplies that we put out back in here, and then let's try to head off potential future requests at the pass here. What might she want? I could see it being nectar. Nectar has been related to voices on a number of occasions. Honey for your throat. Could be we might need some tea, maybe some souls, maybe some really good souls, perhaps. Gemstones are used for everything here. Bombazine, maybe? Bronzewood? You could, build a throat out of bronzewood. And then, is there anything else that we have that even could be relevant? Seeds for growth? And some hours, maybe. I don't know. Here's a big list of the things I think we might need to avoid yet another trip back to Skybarnet this episode. My guess is that probably whatever is needed for the voice is going to turn out to be a little bit more complicated than this. It's probably going to necessitate us actually going somewhere. But we shall see. I'm doing my best to be prepared. Carrying all this garbage is decreasing our fuel efficiency, but it's not actually affecting the speed of the train or anything, and at this point, like, fuel is extremely whatever. Especially since we can just buy more fuel there at the forge. Oh wow, that Spearfire engine is really hauling ass. Holy crap. Where did that thing come from and why is it so fast? I almost wonder if these are the two Spearfires that we saw further up. If they've just chased us this whole way. Wow, that guy is extremely accurate. Usually they fire kind of behind you. You can just keep running and be pretty safe. Well, hopefully that Logos gets its act together. I expect those Spearfires to be gone by the time I return. You lazy concept made entirely of fire. I'm so blasé at this point to the ideas presented by the game that I don't even think of that as a weird thing anymore. That's just how it is. It turns out you can get used to anything. You know, it's one of those living concepts made of fire. It's a thing you can find anywhere. Alright, back to the forge, and let's see what the next unreasonable request is. The White Minister asked for something that was once wild but is no longer, that knew freedom but is now trapped. That's a pretty depressing way to put that. The White Minister lifts the cage delicately, holding the beast within to see into her eye. With one hand she unlocks the cage, with the other she breaks the beast's neck in a single clean snap. She carries its corpse away in stately procession. The clay conductor watches impassively. Soon, my companion will have their voice. Yeah, we hope. Okay. The White Minister tells you that the vessel is ready. It is time for the last component of the companion. This choice is irreversible. So we did deliver all of the things. We still have the ability to try to sing to him ourselves, but I just don't, we don't have whatever it is that's necessary. Yeah, let's provide a voice. This is what he wants, right? The White Minister leads you deeper into the forge. The clay conductor barrels ahead of you, almost running into the minister until a sense of self-preservation stops him short. You emerge into a vault blackened by soot and coal dust. Slivers of gemstones sparkle in the ceiling like stars in the firmament. Your footsteps echo and echo again. In the middle of the vault is a slab of crystal. Upon the slab is a body, the companion. The body on the slab is identical to the clay conductor, except in 3 details. Firstly, it is made of copper, for its resonance, the White Minister tells you. Secondly, it looks less abraded than the clay conductor, with long copper eyelashes and smooth metal skin. Thirdly, it is smiling. Yeah, I guess we've not really seen him do that very much. The clay conductor gazes down upon the form as though entranced. The White Minister clasps her wings together. As its progenitors, the voice must be one of yours. The point of this endeavor was to give the conductor a singing partner. To take his voice would be counterproductive. This will hurt, but it's probably not permanent in the sense that, it's not gonna... I'm gonna be able to speak afterwards still, right? The clay conductor wanted someone who could sing as well as he. There are sacrifices for every ambition. I feel like this is... You know, he's served us for a long time, and he really hasn't asked that much of us. I can do this for him. We are nearing what I'm hoping is our moment of triumph. I am feeling as magnanimous as Sister Patel is ever likely to feel. The clay conductor looks up once from the body of his new companion. 5 hearts permanently lost. Ouch. Thank you. His expression is wistful, almost lost. The white minister fetches her silver spindle. She catches your voice and draws it out like a fisher pulling a salmon from a river. Your gorge rises. You feel like you are choking up everything that you have ever eaten. And then it is over. The white minister shuts your voice in a small box and places it in the hollow of the companion's chest. She fetches a new voice from her collection. A battered, rasping thing. Yours now. Okay, so we did permanently give up our voice, but we got another one at least. Yeah, that's a big sacrifice, but I feel okay making it. A decision has been made. The companion is upon the slab. The white minister waits to see what you will do next. With a melodic groan, it lumbers to its feet. When the companion speaks, their voice does not sound like it had when it was yours, but there is an echo of you about it. If you when you were tired or bored or unwilling. I can manage. That's okay, this is very oddly worded. The clay conductor doesn't appear to notice. Of course. Come, we must get back to our engine. The companion nods. Then we can practice together. They walk away, the companion trailing slightly behind. The white minister fetches a long silver trumpet with which to inspect your voice, which she measures in the octaves of the Blue Kingdom. When she is finally satisfied, she dismisses you. Okay, well, our new voice pretty much works. It basically mostly works. Okay, I think we are actually done here. So, the only thing to do is go back to London and pursue our ambition. That is going to be a little bit of flying, so I guess we'll see you there in a moment. We're still flying through the Reach, but on our way out to Port Prosper, I am roused by a rapping, someone knocking, gently tapping at our chamber door here. Thick with sleep, you shuffle over to the door to discover a pamphlet that has been slipped beneath it. It is written in the Poetic Forged Companion's distinctive, sloping script. Apparently, we have, at this point, somehow seen the thing write often enough that we are familiar with what its handwriting looks like. Okay, read the poetry. For some reason, this is a mirror's role. You know, poetry can be very hard to understand. I guess I probably expressed that earlier in the series, huh? I'm awake now, I may as well. The imagery is sublime, the metaphors subtle yet perceptive. Moreover, the central figure, an intrepid skyfarer, bears unmistakable similarities to yourself. Most flattering. Okay. That was weird. Okay, we've made it back to London without any more poetical interruptions. I'm hoping that the companion is just expressing sort of a general devotion on account of I'm the person who brought him to life, and not like a more specific... Listen, basically what I'm saying is I'm done having sex with my crew members. It was a one-time thing, and it was only because, you know, it was a circumstance. We were in a circumstance, but I'm definitely not doing it with a guy that I know is just full of light and gemstones. I think it sounds like it's going to be an unpleasant experience, frankly. He's all gelatinous. It'd be like boning Stretch Armstrong. Just, no, I'm not into it. Okay, we know what we're here to do. We're here to track down Icery, who we are told is the shaven-headed androgynous quester who almost beat us in the grand tournament. To be perfectly honest with you, I do not remember this. I'm sure it happened, though. Are they willing to die to see the quest's conclusion? More importantly, am I willing to ask them? So I feel like we could just make it happen, right? The Unseen Queen knows exactly where her second greatest knight can be found. She gives you directions. Icery lives above a shoe shop, supporting their quest habit with various dubiously legal odd jobs and the occasional lucrative assassination. Okay, my kind of person, actually. When Icery sees you at their doorstep, they welcome you into their cramped home and start making you a cup of tea. I never thought I'd see you again, they admit. How goes the quest? You tell Isari that you have found the cup. The teapot drops from their hand and shatters. That's alright, you're not going to need that anymore. Isari turns, pulls a knife from their boot, and hurls it at you with startling speed and accuracy. It sinks to the hilt in your shoulder. Oh good, now it's self-defense. Now I'm very justified. While you're still processing this unfortunate event, Isari flips open a secret compartment in the wall and withdraws a military saber. Holy crap, they were really prepared for this moment. I never thought you'd actually find it, they snarl. Give it to me. I must have it. You put down your cup of tea. Just like, imagine she looks over to the knife embedded in her shoulder. Not even upset, not obviously in pain, just like, oh wow, would you look at that? Gently set down the cup of tea, and alright, let's do this. Friendly visit isn't going quite as expected, but you do not want to mess with Sister Patel. She has come too far, and she has killed things more terrifying than you. The quest was all I had left, says Isari, swinging their saber at your head. That's sort of true for us, too. I think if things had not turned out well for Sister Patel, especially at this point, she probably would have had a little break as well. You duck and weave as they advance on you, their saber flashing. It occurs to you that, unless you do something drastic, Isari is definitely going to murder you. You grab the first thing you find on their desk, a letter opener. As they advance, saber at the ready, you rush forward and plant the blade firmly in their stomach. The stomach is not a good way to do the thing. You should, higher. Generally speaking, stab people higher. Isari staggers to their armchair and sinks into the cushions, one hand clamped over their fresh wound. You win, they mutter. You explain why you're here. As Isari listens, their face takes a grim cast. If I have to die to finally lay my eyes on the cup, then so be it, they say. I agree to your terms. We can decide that Isari has lost their right to see the quest's end when they attacked us. That feels very spiteful, and like I said, I kind of understand where they're coming from here. Let's just carry them aboard. They won't die from that wound, but it'll leave a nasty scar. Perhaps they'll recover in time for the Unseen Queen to kill them. Make sure that they're unarmed, though. Take this seriously. Give them a full pat-down. You take a moment to bandage Isari's wound, trying to ignore their sharp intakes of breath. You know what? I'd probably cinch it a little tighter than I have to, because how dare you? How dare you come at me with a sword that you concealed in the wall for exactly this purpose? Although, if we're being honest, she would, Sister Patel would definitely respect the build-up there, the forethought. Your crew gasp in shock as you half-carry, half-drag the heavily bleeding Quester onto the engine. Some are shocked by the sight of blood. The more hardened are presumably worried about the furnishings. Yeah, we've had worse and grosser stuff in this engine. We've had to clean guests out of here like half a dozen times at this point. A little blood's not going to make things any worse. You now have one terror. Liberated from her prison below the earth and elevated to the heavens. Prickled with chimneys, mantled, this is just text about London. I'm done with London. I don't actually know what we're doing next, though. You support the hobbling Isari as they make their way to the portrait that hangs outside your quarters. They gasp when they see the cup. Yeah, that's weird, right? That's really strange. We've met, says the Queen. Isari is, after all, my second greatest knight. The bald Quester smiles crookedly. Not sure I like the prize for second place, Your Majesty. Are you ready to die? Just right straight to it, then. I am. At least, if the alternative is to give up and never see the story to its end. Then the time draws near. The Queen turns her attention to you. Take us to the storm that speaks, and we will begin the ritual. The storm that speaks is reliably found near the mausoleum by the corpse of Albion's son. Sorry, reliably... Does it move around? Oh! Do you remember when we were looking for the Well of the Wolf? I don't remember exactly how much of this I put on camera. But there's a place down there where we had seen a big storm, and I went to the place where I thought we had seen the storm, and it wasn't there. And I was so sure that must be what it was, the storm that speaks, but it moves around sometimes. Okay, that makes so much more sense. I just assumed that I had misremembered, because, you know, it does happen. Happens a lot, actually. Must travel to the storm that speaks and have a dying quester speak the words that killed him. Okay, let's do it. We sort of know where we're going. Actually, hold on. We should grab just a little bit more fuel, a little bit more supplies. Okay. So the place where I thought I remembered seeing the storm, the place where I went to first when we were looking for the Well of the Wolf, was right here. So I think that's where we're going first. The storm that speaks. This is one of, like... There's 3 gods that we have sometimes been plagued by, right? The Burrower below, the Waste Waif, and the storm that speaks. I guess we actually know about the physical form of one of them. This would be kind of a terrifying encounter if Sister Patel had not already encountered all of the other things. You know, once you've nearly flown into the Halved, everything else kind of has the edge taken off a little bit. Although I guess when we were flying around this storm, right? I was trying to find a way around it to the Avid Horizon. We never really got near the middle. It might also have a giant terrifying eyeball. We don't know that it doesn't. And that does seem to be a bit of a theme. You are near the sea and the sky. We're really not. It's actually very far away. Right, we're here. The sea is down there. I guess that's just to indicate to you that you're headed in the correct direction. Like a useful thing if you sort of know your way around Albion, but you haven't actually figured out exactly where all of the stuff is yet. Oh, we hear combat. In fact, I think it's this way. Well, we are way tougher than anything we might encounter out here at this point. Oh, by the way, I had to make some changes to our ship equipment. It turns out those 5 points of hearts that we lost were actually completely critical. We don't have the ability to equip all of the stuff we used to be equipping, so we've lost some crew. Without the hearts, I can't convince 21 people to serve under me anymore. But the exchange is that in the slot, I just fitted some cupboards, so we have a little bit more hull space. It's fine. Like, we could have gotten back up to the hearts by changing our officers around a little bit, but we would have lost either the Ratronaut or the Rose and Adamant plating, and I decided it would be better to keep those 2 things. And we can help out a bit here. Well, I hit the person I was trying least to damage there. I think he's probably going to shoot at us now. Let's just get on the other side of this conflict. I'm not actually sure how this is going to unfold. Oh, no, he seems pretty mad at us. He does have the danger lights on. Notice how that one doesn't have red lights. So I think that the Dreadnought, of the ships that we're seeing here, the Dreadnought is definitely the greatest danger. Let's try to burn him down. Then we'll kill the others. Nothing like a rousing bit of sky combat to wake you up in the morning. It's bracing. Okay, let's raid the hold for... yeah, sure, unusual cargo. What do we got? A sheaf of papers. It's... nothing. Pilot notes printed in London displaying Victoria seated at her throne of hours on the face. Oh, it's money. It's new money printed in London. Interesting. That's a terrible shot. I've done a horrible job there. Alright, presumably that dude is going to just come to us. Probably don't have to hunt him down. This weapon that he has, that it's like a triple mangonel, I don't know if that's a thing we actually have access to. We will definitely be successful breaking into the captain's cabin here. Sure, a barrel of ours. That's fine. Not exciting loot, but it's fine. Surprise! Turns out you are beset on all sides, my friend. Oh, let's detonate that prematurely so as not to hit the dreadnought. I would love to not have to fight this one. Sister Patel's patented spin-based targeting system works again. Alright. Kind of got distracted there. Where am I? I need to go around these graves. The HML Doom's Dominion. It's like you're trying to sound like the bad guys. And here indeed is our storm. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it was always here? It said it is reliably near the mausoleum, though. It's probably not always here. And we definitely one time saw a big storm here that I've never seen there again. I wonder if it was the storm that speaks, and when it was just like, it has a couple of different places it can appear in. Alright, well, let's just get really close to it. Oh, there's something happening in the middle. This seems like a bad idea to approach. Am I going to get a prompt, or, Okay, yes, an interact prompt did appear. Nope, and then it disappeared. I gotta, like, press right up to the middle. There we go. Here in the eye of the storm, the winds cease. Or the winds ease, rather. You are ringed by scudding clouds. A pallid radiance illuminates your engine like the ghost of sunlight. Purple lightning threads the storm. The voices on the wind clamor until a grumble of irritable thunder stills them. This will bring your ambition to an end. We're actually here. We could read a word the lightning wrote. Oh wow, there's actually a lot of options. So you can sacrifice immaculate souls to appease the storm. Sacrifice undistinguished souls to appease the storm, which only may allay the wrath. The odds are against you, but you can try as many times as you have bottles of souls. You could read a word the lightning wrote. The lightning flickers and scrawls. Its after-images remind you of the engravings on an otherworldly artifact you discovered on your travels. You will always gain something, but at what cost? So, okay. Interesting. The storm is not inclined to pay you any heed. Fair enough. I can't see why it would. You step into the high wilderness with the portrait of the Queen under one arm. You walk a path of moonlight beneath the rumbling storm. I am concerned. The veiled Queen is walking beside you, the stone cup in her hands. When you reach the lake, she kneels and places the cup in the water. And you are standing before the storm once again, with Isery and the portrait of a queen. The Martyr King's cup is returned to its true shape. A screaming, swirling, tumultuous vortex of souls, enormous and hungry enough to swallow your engine whole, flashing with sparks of light and tongues of flame. It's beautiful, murmurs Isery, wiping a tear from their eye. Are you ready to experience the last moments of my father? Asks the unseen queen. Your chosen vessel nods solemnly, approaching the cup. Tendrils of light dance across their brow. They kneel beside the cup in a circle of moonlight. Their bald scalp ripples like the sea. Their eyes are bright, sharp knives. Your scalp should probably not be rippling. I guess I've not really spent a lot of time around people with shaved heads. It's not like loose, is it? Huh. That's a horror for another day. Let's focus. The King of Ours' epitaph. A human seeing through the eyes of a son, says the unseen queen. How my father's peers would rage if they knew. The never has come, murmurs Isery, shivering violently. Oh, I cannot abandon. Their eyes have turned to stone. I could endure the night, they say. She is nothing, and was nothing, and will be nothing. Could I? After all his assurances? No, I endure. I changed my mind. I endure, and I end. As they die, Isery slumps over the cup and whispers words of poison. Faces form in the soul broth, listening intently. Fortunately, you are too distant to hear. I think that Sister Patel would feel good about having brought Isery to the end here. Like I said, upset with her, obviously, or upset with them, pissed off about the betrayal and the attempted murder, but understanding, and honestly, she'd have a lot of respect for that attack. Isery earned the Isory earned the right to see the ending, at the very least. As the poisoned words take effect, the souls within the cup whirl faster. A pillar of lightning roars from the cup and cuts the sky in two. Too late, the storm that speaks takes notice of you. Too late, the voices on the wind start to shriek. The queen takes a step forward, now fully escaped from her frame. You erased me from time, father, but not thoroughly enough. A vestige remained. A painting. Oh, what has she done? Your shouts are swallowed by the roaring void. This wasn't the plan. This doesn't look like immortality. Yeah, this is not exactly what I thought was happening. I told you she was using us. I knew she was going to betray us here. The storm is in its death throes. You had never imagined that lightning could writhe, that thunder could shriek. The clouds are in tatters. The queen's face is smiling, shining silver. Her voice cuts through cacophony. I have killed my father. I have rooted him from his hiding place in the cup and finally concluded the moment of his death. Moonlight is breaking through storm clouds. I will take the moment of his death and make it the moment of my rebirth. I will drink the hours from his golden day. I will rise from his ashes and wear his misery as my mantle. Yo, those are my hours. The storm that speaks is dying. You must make a decision. The storm falls ominously quiet. I promised that after you found the cup you would have immortality, says the unseen queen. She is a giantess now, with quicksilver skin. I didn't say how soon. First, of course, I will have to destroy the Blue Kingdom and usurp the throne of the Sapphired King. When I have done so, your entire species will be immortal. That is my promise. Well, that's not really in the spirit of the agreement. We were just talking about this. I guess it's technically the letter of the law. Surely there must be another, more certain way for the cup to grant you immortality. We could attempt to kill the queen and usurp her power. Can I really do that? You unlocked this with Moored to Reality 12. You needed 11. Oh. I wonder if all those times we shook off the dream actually really mattered here. In this moment she is radiant, blazing, triumphant. She cannot be touched. But what about in the moonlit world? Or we could join in her quest to destroy the Blue Kingdom. Here's the thing. Sister Patel did not come all this way to serve. The whole point of this was that she was gaining freedom, right? So, in the same sense that she respected Isory, she would respect this move. The Unseen Queen is making an understandable play here. And in the same way that we shanked Isory and then brought them here to die, the Unseen Queen has to die as well. After coming all this way, Sister Patel is getting what she came for. In this moment she is radiant, blazing, and triumphant. But what about in the moonlit world? In the Queen's moonlit visions, questers forget who they are. They become perfect knights. No doubt she feels untouchable. None of her poor, addled followers could ever plot against her while they're ensnared. But you are an exception. Over all your adventures, you've built up an immunity to her dreams. You slip into the dream world and approach the Unseen Queen. She sits atop her throne, immaculately regal, the cup in one hand. And you kneel at her feet. And when you rise, the minute to midnight rises with you and pins her swiftly through the throat. You catch the Martyr King's cup as it falls from her fingers. It's so appropriate to the story that this is how we had to deal with the thing that came out of the Tower of Chimes. Like, we learned that sometimes we can dip into the dream just a little bit, as long as we make sure we can pull ourselves back and do things that we know are impossible. And then we use that knowledge here. It's as beautiful. That is so perfect. We've killed the Unseen Queen in the moment of her triumph. The Queen stares down at you in horror. The moon vanishes from the sky, and you find yourself back beneath the gathering storm. Why? Why would you? The Unseen Queen is fading. The very fact of her existence is still too fragile to cope with the minute to midnight's onslaught of weaponized time. As she convulses, the storm that speaks swells, gathers strength. It seems it wasn't quite yet destroyed, and now it senses weakness in its would-be conqueror. And in our moment of triumph here, we drink from the cup, and here's where the ironic consequences show up, right? The unseen queen is just a portrait again. A dozen vengeful bolts of lightning converge. Her wooden frame explodes into splinters. Her canvas is devoured by flames. You kneel beside the Martyr King's cup and drink the last remnants of the golden day. For a moment, you see the eternity that stretches before you. Endless joy, endless suffering. There will be countless legends about you. The nomadic immortal riding in an ancient engine upon tides of time, slipping between past and future. You become a sunlit hallucination, a ghost story, a cautionary tale, a fervent wish. You will outlast the Empire. You will outlast the light of law. You will thunder across the skies, imposing your will upon the stars, until the end of time itself. You return to your engine. This is not your story's end. There will never be an end. You found the Martyr King's cup and achieved a form of immortality, taking all the hours of the eternal golden day and adding them to your lifespan. You will thunder across the skies until the end of time itself. You have an heirloom, the Martyr King's cup. An undying captain has taken to the skies, embarking on adventures untold. Hell yeah, I feel like we extremely earned that. And I love the balance that had to be walked there, of shaking off the visions over and over again, remaining tethered to reality for fear of being claimed by the cup instead of the other way around, but realizing that we could use the illusion ourselves as a weapon. That could not have turned out better. Your Bohemian friends are eager to meet your successor. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to stop this episode right here. Obviously, all of this stuff is going to get passed on, but you'll all meet the new character at the beginning of the next episode. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching, coming with me on this extremely long journey. I hope you're all having as much fun with it as I am. If it's not clear from my voice, I am really, really still enjoying our time here. Come back next time, tomorrow, for the beginning of what will most likely be our final journey. And we'll see you then.